Senator Athan Achonu is the governorship candidate of the Labour Party in Imo State. His story is the average Nigerian story. Strong Igbo family Christian values, a middle-class upbringing, Civil War tragedy, struggles, resilience, hard work, and the unyielding conviction to overcome every challenge that life brings. His is a story of strength and growth that comes through courage, persistent effort, pertinacious resistance to failure, and blessed life lived in service to others. Born in 1959 to the family of Chief Sir T.E.O. Achonu MFR and Norma Lady Martha Achonu of blessed memory, he is the sixth child out of 8 children. His late father, Chief T.E.O. Achonu, was a family man, community leader, educationist of repute, politician, and a nationalist who played key roles in the political and socio-economic development of Old Mbano Division, where he served as chairman. He was responsible for some of the policies and projects that helped shape education and political developments in Old Mbano and Old Okigwe areas. That was the humble, modest family-driven environment Senator Athan Achonu grew up in. Education, love for community, and selfless service. Senator Athan Achonu is better described as an ideas distillery and smart entrepreneur who saw the need to provide solutions to life's complex challenges. Hence, his early entry into business providing solutions with maximum return on investments. He took time to share some insight on the real Athan Neji Achonu, his leadership principles, business and politics, development and security. He spoke about his early days and how it helped prepare him for where he is today.
I don't know how I can describe myself. I have had an indescribable childhood. As a child, I was what you can call a whiskey or a genius. That's what I don't know how they described me then, because from primary school, I won the East Central State competition for poetry that people from secondary school contested, everybody. I had a poem called The Star that I wrote. My father was a headmaster who became chairman of Mbano Division before the Civil War. And then he was one of the first Nigerians who had the MOFR honor. I had a wonderful childhood. I was as stubborn can be. And I had gray hairs on my eyes, my eyebrows, as a primary school child. My mother said it was a sign of the devil because I was very troublesome. During the Civil War, I volunteered. I was one of the first persons to volunteer into the civil defense during the Civil War when it started. As a small boy, I was just about 9 years old when I joined the civil defense. I trained and became an instructor. They were humoring me because I was so committed. So, the commandant made me an instructor at that age. But now, from hindsight, I now realize that he saw a lot of potential in me from what things I was saying, suggestions I was making. I joined the boys' company. After I was dissolved, I started developing plans to protect Igbo land, that from conception to actualization, they could work. I designed underground bunkers for kids when they started killing the Biafran Boys Brigade. So you can hide in a cassava mound, you could build an underground bunker and stay there. I designed it. I designed clothes with leaves you could wear at night, blend with the forest. My life has been a spiritual journey. because I can't understand how I survived everything. I remember when we were washing bottles that they were using to make fish bombs, bottles. So I accidentally fell on one broken bottle of beer, and it caught to my bum. It was just an inch from a nerve that could have ended my life. 2 days to the end of the Civil War, I had a grenade. It exploded, killed the regimental police sergeant that was far. I had it in my hand. It blinded my ADC. Just took my arm. My first business was to sell a counterfeit detecting machine because there was an influx of counterfeit into the market. So late Chimezie Ikazo imported counterfeit detecting machines, and the container fell into the sea. They thought that seawater had spoiled it. I struggled. I said, no, this madness must stop. So I took one, found somebody who fixed it. Then I approached them. We partnered, and then fixed a lot of it, sold it. I made a lot of money. Sold to ACB. Then the HSP assisted me and got Pan-African Bank to buy a lot from us. In total, the first sale, I made about 700 and something thousand naira. Then I wanted to answer a millionaire. I changed it to dollar. I became a millionaire in dollar. Then I now sold to Pan-African Bank after that. JTSP, he was very helpful to me. Wonderful human being. My beloved senior brother. I don't ever think of what people talk about me. I only think of how to solve the next problem. And then all my life, I've always found out that from solving society's problems, you can make a lot of money. So I concentrate on that. How do I help the society to get rid of this problem, to solve it? So, and when I provide the service or facility or whatever it is, I will solve that problem. I make money from it because, I put in my time, I put in my brain, I put in my intellect and everything. I have had a wonderful life. Wonderful life. I lived under Costain Bridge after being a millionaire in dollar. We weren't privileged to go on holidays abroad when I was in secondary school. So my classmates used to come, talk about their holiday in London, talk about, so immediately I made money. I just wanted to travel, go to all those places that I used to read about from James Hadley Chase. All that money I made, I squandered it. God put me through everything so that I can come out to be what I am today. That's what has made me who I am today. Why I'm able to relate with everybody. Whether people like me or not, I am not interested. But I have come to understand human nature. He has taken me to the greatest height, took me to the gutter, and then brought me out and told me, a Reverend Father told me, Father Ala-Igbo of blessed memory, he said that God gave me a mark and that everything I touch will turn to gold. And there is nothing that I have wanted to do that I have found worthy that can that can progress society and mankind that God has not blessed.
Speaking about leadership, the LP candidate sees leadership as service. He shared his vision for Akorolo and for Imo State. Senator Achonu was emphatic with his stand on local government autonomy.
What you people call leadership is actually a life of service. I come from a family of service. My father was two-time vice chairman of Mbano Division, then chairman of Mbano Division twice. So, and then in Mbano Division, that's Ishiala and the Hime, every structure that is here, that is standing, he built them. Hospital, Mbano Joint Hospital, most of the schools, secondary schools, primary schools, my father built them. Health center in Numo here. You understand? And so I come from a life of service, you know. So that's what people call leadership. It's actually a life of service. My dream for Imo State, first of all, is to provide security. I have been championing autonomy of local governments since after Obasanjo till today. I have spent a lot of money. I have mobilized students, nuns, I've mobilized NLC, I've suffered, I've struggled to change things because I have always said it. If you Google me, you see all the interviews I've granted, that it was since they started taking the money belonging to local governments and pocketing it that insecurity started. Because let me ask you a question. If you have a councillor in a democratically elected councillor from a ward, he will know everybody living in that ward. He will know who the criminals are. So that's why you have democracy. It goes to the grassroots. Democracy really goes to the grassroots. So to bring peace, you have to have autonomy of local governments, democratically elected local government chairmen and councillors. As a governor, I will not know where local government money comes from, but I will create a committee, I will create a bureau to supervise contract awards in local governments. You understand? We'll pass a law. They'll be autonomous. That the only intervention is to monitor what they are doing. To be the eye of the state on them, eye of the people. And reverend fathers will be members of that committee, the clergy. And the traditional rulers will be present in that committee. So they will see what every local government chairman is doing, whether he's doing the wish of the people or not. That's the extent of my involvement in local government affairs.
Akuru, inspired by Senator Achonu, is built on 7 key focal areas: security, infrastructure, education, agriculture and tourism, manufacturing, employment, and excellence in leadership.
I have been preaching Akurulo for the last 20 years. I've been asking Igbos to come home and invest. They have developed Lagos. They have developed Kano. Igbos. They have developed Abuja. Igbos are the only people developing the entire Nigeria. And they've abandoned their homeland. Why? Because criminal elements are emerging as their governors. So all they are out is to loot, and go and stash it in foreign lands. Do you understand me? So they're not encouraging investors to come in. They're not, if you come to invest, they will fight you so that you don't endear yourself. They think you're coming to run for governor. So you don't endear yourself to your people. That's what is happening in Igbo land. It's only in Anambra that they have succeeded in Nnewi axis. They are now building factories, bringing their investments. So look at Innocent. There's so many other investors. You know, look at Kocharis. Look at the farm he's building. So many other people I don't know about. I hear they're doing a lot in Anambra now. So we have to do that in Imo. During Jonathan, I approached Jonathan. I said I wanted to take over Imo Air Cargo Airport to internationalize it, to make it a cargo hub. That time, Hope was chairman aviation. I tried to ask him for his help to support that move. That move didn't succeed. You know, I met with the minister. The minister told me that she was refurbishing the airports at that time, and they cannot concession it at that time, and that I had to wait until the concessioning was over. I remember asking her, taking a jab at her when we were in the Senate together about the airport and what the losses, what we would have achieved by then, I have an investment of almost 9 billion here now. I tried to build a Radisson Hotel in Owerri. Rochas blocked that one. And I tried to build the biggest mall in Africa, in where Imo State, Imo Hotels used to stand. Rochas came and built a road in the middle. But I said, okay, fine. I'll still build my hotel, build the mall there, and then build something else across the river, and use the bridge to cross, an overhead flyover to connect the 2 locations. I just got a judgment in court that everything Rochas built there is null and void. And I hope Uzodimma should pay me 100 million in damages. He sought for a stay of execution. It was thrown out. Till today, he has not paid that 100 million. He has not come for us to settle because the plan is that, okay, the judgment, I wanted us to separate since government doesn't want to partner with me. Let them give me my 60% share of the property. You understand? And take their 40. You know? Up to today, he has not obeyed that court order. And he's a product of a court order. Hope Uzodinma came forth according to INEC records. Supreme Court made him governor. And he's sitting there. He's serving out a 4-year term because of a court order. And he can't obey court order. What we have packaged for Imo State is unbelievable. Investments will flow in. I've already packaged several. I have so many people who are willing to come. We'll have a Silicon Valley here. Igbo land, as a matter of fact, not Igbo, Igbo land in general. Because Alex Oti, my brother, is in Abia State. So together, if by the grace of God, other governors come that are, have the same orientation, have the same vision like we do, you will see what will happen in Igbo land. Akurulo is for Igbos to come home and invest. And as Alex is here, I'm sure already so many investors are flocking to Abia State. So when I take over here, the same thing will happen here. The Akurulo, I'm leading by example. I have a farm. I have a farm in Abuja that has 50 greenhouses. And then with present capacity, we produce 150,000 catfish every month. We are going to double it to 300. But in my village here, under the spirit of Akurulo, I have a farm here, sprawling farm. We are developing capacity now to produce 1 million catfish every month. We have 260 greenhouses. We are right now, as I'm speaking to you, we're producing bell peppers, tomatoes, jalapenos, and then beetroots. That's what we're producing now. We want to move into, because we have not deployed all the greenhouses, we're still building them, planting them. Dizengoff is there on site now. So we still have mushrooms, we have grass cutter farm, we have a capacity for 5,000 cattle, a stockade capacity, and we're breeding native cows, Ala-Igbo, the Muturu. We are going to crossbreed them with the Ndama and the White Fulani. So we have a laboratory, world standard laboratory at the location.
Senator Athan Achonu lives a life of giving, philanthropy, and shared humanity. He uses his God-given privileges to assist the less privileged, provide educational scholarships for many students in Ala-Igbo zone. Senator Achonu, being a man of peace, understands the nexus between security, investment, and community development. He has shown and continues to show leadership towards resolving the insecurity bedeviling the Southeast, especially in Imo State.
I volunteered. I called the IG of police. I said, there is insecurity in my place. And the governor is not doing anything. They have destroyed police stations. The federal government is not doing anything. I tried to rebuild the zonal command. They came and destroyed it all over again. I said, okay, now please. Policemen said if I can protect them, that they don't have any APC. And you have abandoned the APCs. Let me fix them. I bought a place, they bought Himembano police station. I bought land now. In fact, I bought 2 locations. So that you choose one, I rebuild the police station. I offered to rebuild the one in Hituboma. I have even awarded a contract for that zonal command. And up till now, nothing has happened. I now approached Innocent when I agreed with the IG that out of the 9 APCs, I'll fix them. And you allow me 5 to cover Ala-Igbo zone so that we can rebuild all those police stations, so that we can put policemen there and safeguard their lives. Because these policemen, they have mothers, they have children, they are human beings, they are being slaughtered everywhere. So I paid Innocent 100 million out of this 160 million he charged me from my personal resources, not from security vote of government house. From my personal resources. And do you know what? After we fixed 5, they now told me they don't have driver. They released only 1 to me, only for me to see on election day. I saw these APCs more personnel carriers moving around with House of Assembly members inside them and government officials to rig elections. Owerri has the highest number of hotels in the entire eastern region. And it does not have any economic activity to support the fact that every weekend all the hotels are fully booked. You will not find hotel space because there's peace, there's a vibrant nightlife. Do you understand? So people from Anambra, traders, people from Port Harcourt, oil workers, people, travelers, when they must plan to stop, especially over the weekend, they must plan to stop in Owerri before they continue their journey, so they can have peace. Go to the bars, restaurants at night. They're playing live Owerri music. Beautiful city. But look at what it is today. And start a process of restoration, because it's going to be a long, drawn process, because the wound is very deep. So it has to heal gradually and come back to its former glory. People don't know me. Some tag me 419, even say that I hope Uzodimma gave me $1 million. Excuse me, what is $1 million? Is it, I mean, you've come to my house, you've been to my farm, you've seen my investments. All I will tell the youth, this country belongs to them. I have supported their struggle. I have supported NANS. But something I found out, most leadership of NANS, they are just there for the benefits they are going to get. You understand? Most of them, some, but some are dedicated. So the youth should be focused to rescue their country, to challenge authority, to speak truth to power. This is their country. My generation will have ruined their country for them. We have stolen everything. They should fight and take it back. That's why I brought Tony Nwolo into this ticket. So that there'll be a blend, there'll be a marriage, so that the youth will see that there is a future for them in Imo State especially. Then after here, the rest of the country.
Senator Achonu is a man engraced by God. Though with one arm, he believes the scriptures that says, "My grace is sufficient for you, for my power is made perfect in weakness."
I'm physically challenged. Yes, I'm not a disabled person. I'm just physically challenged. As a matter of fact, in the land of 200 men, a 100 man is a king. That's my belief. Do you understand me? And that, in fact, I'm going to be the first 100 governor in Nigeria, in Africa. In fact, in the entire universe, I'm going to be the first 100 governor.
Against all odds, Athan Achonu is here to take back Imo.
Interestingly, I'm the first person who lives in Imo State, who has invested in Imo State, schooled in Imo State, who is going to become governor for the first time in the history of Imo State. So everybody is rejoicing. I almost single-handedly built a church in Egba, Federal Housing Estate. While I was living there, I tarred the road, Federal Housing Road, because I was driving convertible, I was driving low cars. I had a 600 Mercedes convertible. So I built, they said I was 419. And because they said, how can an individual build tar road? That was the rumor then. That man must be a 419. How can I tarred it because my cars couldn't go home any longer. And government was not helping matters. So I had to tie it.
Happy birthday, the incoming governor of Imo State.